How to make cupcake toppers using Cricut. Hi guys, welcome back to Bride Society. I'm Rebecca and today I'm showing you how to make these cupcake toppers using your Cricut machine. You can use whichever Cricut device you have to make these, and obviously you can really easily adapt the lettering or the design to your choice using my tutorial. So here's what you'll need. So I'm going to start things off by showing you how to create this cake topper or cupcake topper design inside Cricut Design Space, with all my sort of tips and tricks to get it to cut as one and all that kind of stuff. If you don't need these and you're just looking for something else, I'm going to put the timestamps in the description box below so you can jump ahead to the relevant step. But if you're here for the design part as well, we're going to kick things off by coming over to text and hitting that to recreate my design that we've got over here. So I'm going to leave that one over there and just recreate it for you over on the left. Obviously you can completely adapt the wording to whatever you might need. So it might be a birthday party or something. But I'll show you how to do this and you just apply exactly the same principles. So as you see, I've typed out my first word there. You're going to do the 3 words in separate text boxes. So, repeat. Right, so I've got all of my 3 words now. So as you can see, this right now will not cut out as one piece. You need your cupcake topper to obviously be one piece so that you can attach it with a single cocktail stick or straw or whatever you're using and it not all fall to pieces. So, first of all, choose the fonts that you want to use so that you don't end up messing around with stuff needlessly. So the font I've used for Sarah's is Leafs, I believe. So you come up to where it says font in the top left. You will see various options on these tabs at the top. I filtered by the second one, System, because that filters by literally the fonts that I have stored in my system, because I don't actually subscribe to Cricut Access, but if you do, you'll have plenty more over here. So I'm going to go ahead and search for the font I used, select that, and it should have changed it, but you can't see it because it's hidden there. There we go. So as you can see, we're now much closer to what we've got over here, but it still wouldn't work as it is. Like the S would drop off, you'd lose your apostrophe, and so on. Hen do, I believe I left in the font Cricut Sans. If yours isn't in that or you want something different, again, you just choose font and change it up there, just as we did with the first word. So don't worry too much about your sizing right now. We can change the overall size at the end. Just do it so you can see it right now. The only sizing you need to worry about is it in relation to each other. It's just not the overall size you need to worry about. So I want Sarah's to be the biggest part. And then I'm going to mess around with the rest of the lettering until I find it's connected to something. So every letter needs to touch something else for it to not all fall apart once you cut it. And obviously the more it's touching and more it's connected to one another, the stronger it will be and the less likely it will be to sort of flop over or get damaged. So as you can see right now, the whole hen word is touching other things and this would work, but it would have more stability if I move them closer together. And obviously I'm still going to lose the O and these letters. So first up, I'm going to adjust the top word because that's going to be kind of what the most things are being connected to. And it becomes kind of the base for the sizing of the other 2 words. So the trick you need to achieve this is to, with this box highlighted, come up to the top pane where it says Advanced and then select Ungroup to Letters. You'll see over here it's now individualized each of the letters. It's no longer one word. Like if I click out and back in, you'll see each of these letters are now individual text boxes essentially. which allows you to click this and move it closer. So as you can see, that is now, or will be, joined up. Again, if you don't want to lose your apostrophe, in my case, I can move it over and attach it to the H. You might be able to attach it to sort of the top left corner of that letter, or maybe over here. Just sort of fuss around, see what works for you. So my top word is now set, and that's fine. There will be one more tweak at the end, so don't go to cut it just yet. And I'm going to come down to hen, repeat the same steps. So I'm going to ungroup to letters. I'm going to wiggle things around. So once you've spent your time kind of tweaking and adjusting and moving bits and pieces around to try and make it all attached and as sturdy as possible, we're going to select the entire group. So I've clicked my mouse and I'm dragging over the top. That's now highlighted, as you can see over here, all the items in my design. Then what I'm going to do is come down to the bottom right corner, and this is a really important step, and click combine. As you can see, you've got a number of options here. I'm going to choose the second one down, which is unite. This joins up all the lettering and makes it one piece so that it won't just cut as individual letters. So how you had it before, even though it looked joined up here with the D and the O and all that kind of thing, it would still cut into each of those letters and make them individual. This makes it one continuous flow. So if I now change the colour, you should be able to see that a bit better. So sometimes at this point you realise, oh, I've not maybe moved things close together enough. So you can see here, I've still got a line here and here, so it's still going to cut those letters. So if you need to go back and make an adjustment, just hit undo and hit it again to undo the unite function. Yep. What I might just do is actually just highlight that all and change the colour to make it easier for you to see. There we go. So I'm gonna now just tweak things ever so slightly. So I'm gonna bring things slightly further in. So I'm just nudging these with the arrow keys on my keyboard. Sometimes it helps you to make a smaller, more accurate movement than trying to do it with your mouse, but it's up to you. Okay, I might just need to do that one a touch more. All right, so I'm going to try this again. So again, click, highlight, they're all marked. Come down here, hit unite. Okay, yeah. And as you can see, those lines have now gone, so it's not going to chop them off. And then you just need to deal with your overall sizing. So obviously measure the size of the thing that you're wanting to put it on top of. In my case, they're fairly large size cupcakes. So the dimensions of mine, as you can see here, is 2.5 inches wide by 1.83 inches tall. So to change the size, you can either do it like this, or if you want to be super accurate, you can come up to the top here and you just simply click in and type in your numbers. If you're happy with the ratios as it's automatically adjusted, that's great. If you want to adjust the ratio of the height to the width, you can just unlock this padlock here and it will let you shift them independently. So it was 1.83 that I needed. So I can now hit 1.83, enter, and it's made that adjustment without tweaking this one. And you can lock that back up if you want that to now remain fixed. So there you go. And then obviously if you're wanting to make more than just one or the two cupcake toppers, you just need to copy and paste your design. So on a Mac, that's Command-C, Command-V for the shortcut, or Control-C, Control-V if you're on a Windows machine. And just do that as many times as you need, like this. Don't worry about them all sitting on top of each other. You can move them if you want, you don't need to. But when you're happy with your design, you've got the right number that you need to cut, you can then proceed to the top right hand corner and hit make. So at this point, make sure your machine is switched on and connected to your laptop or computer or whatever. And then you'll see it automatically organises your cupcake toppers onto your mat, so they're no longer sat on top of each other like they were on the last screen. So it's like there was no need to worry. You can now move and rotate these around on this print preview effectively page to fit whatever size the piece of card or paper is that you're using. You can also even rotate them round to help them fit better, as long as they don't overlap each other or go outside of these red lines, then you're absolutely fine. Once you're happy with this, you can just check your settings over on the left hand side. That all looks good. You don't need the mirror function for this one. It's great as is, and then just hit continue in the bottom right. As I say, your machine needs to be connected so it can search for it here. Pick your base material, so obviously click whatever is most closely describing what you're using. I'm gonna pick like cardstock. If you haven't bookmarked any here previously, and so this is empty, don't worry, just come to browse all materials and pick something from that list. But say I'm going to use light cardstock, and then you can go ahead and load your fine point blade into clamp B. Position your material onto your light grip mat and feed it into your machine under the little guides on either side, with all 4 of the star rollers evenly spaced out. Make sure your cardstock is smoothed down, and then go ahead and press the flashing arrow button to feed your item into the machine. Once the C Cricut logo starts to flash, you can go ahead and press that to start your cut. Once your cut is complete, the arrow button will start flashing again, and you can just press that to eject your mat. To remove your paper product from the mat without it curling, flip it over and peel away from the cardboard. You can gently start to pop out your design. You can use your little weeding tool if you just need to encourage any little pieces. Also, if you have any trouble with any bits not having a fully cut through, you can always just use a little bit like a craft knife to go over some of the bits if necessary. Grab your glue and your cocktail sticks, and we're going to attach those to some of the wider parts of our design. So I'm going to add the glue to one side of the top of the cocktail stick rather than the paper itself. It's just less fiddly. Then I'm going to position that over this kind of wider part of my design so that it conceals it. Press and hold for a few seconds and leave it to dry and set. There you have it, you're all done. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Thank you for watching. If you did like it, if you could tap that like button, and of course don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss more content like this coming up. If you have any questions, do drop them in the comments box below, because I do have a look there regularly, so I'll try to help you out if I can. But otherwise, enjoy your party.